This year's Pride event in Toronto marked a great moment for the gay movement, their arrival as members of mainstream society. As proof of Pride's mainstream status, organizers are now being targeted as racists and oppressors. Congratulations! Some background. This weekend, Toronto, Canada, one of the safest and most gay-friendly cities in the world, held their annual Pride Parade, which brings umpteen thousands of gay and straight tourists to the city, and for the first time, a sitting Prime Minister joined other politicians and city officials in the procession. It was a joyful festival of inclusiveness that commemorated the spirits of those lost in Orlando and celebrated the gains gays and lesbians have made through progressive attitudes and social acceptance. So, of course, some assholes had to screw it up. The parade was brought to a halt by Black Lives Matter Toronto, who are like the Canadian branch of an American franchise brought north to a market with greatly reduced appetite for its wares, kind of like Denny's. For brevity's sake, going forward, I'm going to refer to Black Lives Matter Toronto as BLMT. But please, don't let your mind wander to a tasty sandwich. The gay rights movement has made huge gains in a very short time. It wasn't that long ago that jokes about gays were a staple of stand-up comics. Coming out could kill your career. It was socially acceptable to discriminate against the queers, and gay couples couldn't wed. Today, it's a different world. LGBTQ have made great strides in acceptance. All right, wait. LGB, yes? TQ, not so much. But now that gays and lesbians have largely been accepted into the mainstream, they are free to enjoy the other benefits of being in the mainstream. Mainly, having people outside the mainstream hate you. And so, BMLT protested Pride's policies towards people of color and blockaded the Toronto Parade route with a sit-in, sending off colorful smoke bombs, a favorite tactic of Cesar Romero's Joker. They shouted a list of demands the Pride Parade organizers had to sign before BLMT would let the parade continue. In essence, they held the parade hostage, not with guns or violence, but something more powerful. Liberal guilt trip. Now, besides the stupid one about excluding the police from Pride activities, most of BMLT's demands were reasonable, but their tactics weren't. But in their tizzy, our leftist friends couldn't separate the two, being confused by the conundrum in front of them. A black group versus a gay group? To radical lefties, a social justice group fighting another social justice group doesn't compute. It's like a pig eating bacon. Like when Captain Kirk forced the Landru computer to short circuit by making it fight with its own programming. For right-wingers, it was like Godzilla versus Mothra. One of them is more palatable than the other, but it's just great to watch them fight. But it made rad left heads spin like Linda Blair. And like in The Exorcist, the next step was explosive vomit, as the outrage warriors sided with Black Lives Matter and spewed a puke stew of apologist drivel, rabid justifications, and situational ethics. But this was more significant than just adding fuel to the dumpster fire of social media. It officially welcomed Toronto Pride into the establishment. Congrats, Toronto Pride! You're now the man! I know for my gay and lesbian friends, that kind of statement may have a different context, but in this context, we're talking about welcome to the establishment. Mazel tov!